All right, welcome back to my channel. This is going to be fun. I am going to talk about ground pressure and actually how the golf club is moving, and we're going to do some tests to find out if you are not just right, center, and left, which I've done a little bit before, but I'm going to do a little bit of a deeper dive on this. And then also, just for you guys' information, I've done, I don't know, 165, 70 videos, and they're not all the same. Because you might be a lead leg, you might be middle, you might be right, and I haven't really said that as much as it's been, hey, just let me look at your golf swing, let me see what you do, why you do what you do, and then I can correct it, okay? So try to be a little more proactive for you guys, because basically the way I look at it then is if you are a, for instance, trail leg dominant person and you watched my first video that was more on centered or left, you gotta think I'm probably the biggest idiot and tell me to screw off and everything else, and that didn't work, and I'm gonna go back to, I don't know, whoever it was, Seguto or Ventos or whoever else, Mentos, whatever, because I have a 33% success rate of you guys getting this right, because there's the 3 different ways to load the club and why this goes into it. So get your popcorn ready or get your golf club ready. So this is just going to take a little bit. You've already hopefully seen the one in details about the grip and about the swing plane. Now we're going to get into the golf swing itself. Now, the fortunate thing that I've been able to do is, as teaching people, is that I have the unique ability, I think it's unique anyway, but that I can swing equal speed on my right leg only, which is a good drill for you guys to do. And if you can stand there and swing really fast on your right leg only, then you're pretty much going to be a trail leg. Sorry, I'm going to try to say trail leg, lead leg for you guys, right-handed, left-handers, right? And or if you stand on the lead leg and swing and you get off balance, then you know that you're here. And then put feet together, and if you swing and you twist your body off balance, then you know one way leads towards another. The other way is you can put a golf club, do this in front of a mirror though, because I promise you, you'll see it. I'm gonna just cross my arms like so, okay? And if you just keep your head on center and then just turn your torso, and when you do, it's a midsection from belt up. So if you're more on the lead leg, it'll do this instinctively, so you can see how that went down. If it doesn't move much at all, then you're going to be in the middle, and if you go this way a little bit, now you're going to go into your right leg, or sorry, so trail leg, right? I know, habits are hard to break. All right, so how does that all correlate? Well, because of all the other videos I've done, and things of that nature, I'm going to get into a little bit more detail about some of those. And the reason why, me specifically on the channel, when I say swing like a bucket of water, because when I was taught that by the late Harvey Penick, or when I did and study the compound pivot from Mike Austin, you know, those kinds of things, or throwing and stuff like off the lead leg, these are all different, different parts. All right, so I'm going to get into it. So let's go with I'm going to go with actually the lead leg first, because I really didn't cover that. Because if you are an underhand thrower, your right hand will wind up, but you're not going to load weight as much as you think into your right leg, because your head will move off the ball, and it's real hard to then recenter back and you lose the angle, okay? So anybody who's tried to underhand throw and couldn't do it, especially I have golfers that play right-handed but are dominant left-handed. So there's all of these different variation factors, and I'm not even going to get into about the grip, because that changes how forearms work and all that. So there is, when I put mythical perfect swing, there is really no such thing as a mythical perfect swing. There really is no perfect swing for any individual. It's tendencies that you have because of life that you've had, imbalances that you have, etc. So the reason why I can play, like I said, and do all these different ones and play the same kind of level golf is because I'm equally balanced, okay? Because I've built up leg strength in my right and my left, either through CrossFit, gymnastic bodies, life, whatever it is, okay? But yet I still throw a ball like a 6-year-old girl. So so let's go into it. All right, so you're going to lead leg. So you did the test and you do this, right? Now, that's great. What do I do next, okay? So that's what we're here for. So you're gonna take your knees and you're gonna take them both towards the target. This right foot will be pretty square and the left foot will be ever so slightly out, okay? So when you do this, your weight now is more here. Now, you don't just stay here, okay? You still have to have 3 forces in the golf swing have to happen. You have to have horizontal first, then it depends on where the horizontal and how much horizontal you have, then dictates for you, the torque or the middle part of the golf swing, and then that will dictate when you have vertical, okay? So just stay with me because I'm gonna go through all 3 of these, and of course if you have any questions, I'm available for Zoom lessons and my membership site, okay? All right, so here we are. We're on the lead leg here. So you're going to, and just like as if you had a ball in your hand, you're going to go from left to right like this fast. Can you see how I put all my, I'm like 70-30 here, and I'm gonna be more like about maybe 80-20 here, just by the time my hand's from 6 to about 7, maybe 7:30. And by the time my hand is at 8 o'clock right here, my weight is already back left. The other thing about the knee is not gonna go to the center line. That is a rear pivot motion, okay? So from here, when you wind up, this is what like a John Rahm, Tony Finau, Bryson DeChambeau, he doesn't get his leg past the center line. These are all players that are over here, okay? So you're not gonna hit the ball short doing this. And by the way, I've tested all of this on me. My club head speed doesn't fluctuate hardly any between a huge compound pivot, an underhand throw of the bucket water of motion, and these all have different motions to it, okay? So when you shift from the left to the right quickly, then the weight will go right back to the left. This would be like a tennis racket. You have a tennis racket in your hand, the ball is coming to you. As soon as your hand goes back, your weight is going this way. So if you do that, that's gonna be you. So when you do this and you wind up, you're winding up your hand. You're not turning your body, because if you turn your body, you're gonna make your pelvis go behind you, and now you have a reverse pivot because now the weight never is gonna get back. You're now gonna stay there and the ground's gonna throw you the opposite way. So you have to start left, micro shift quickly to the right, but because the knees are shuttled, it should push you right back into it. So you'll see it kind of looks like this. When I wind my hand up, right here, you can see how my knee is down. So watch yourself in front of a mirror. You can see the club head's pointed at your target line. So here you are, top of your golf swing right here, your weight's already left, okay? So now from here, you actually had horizontal, and the braking force of the horizontal makes you actually have a negative pelvis hip rotation for horizontal, which a lot of long drivers, some of the longest drivers have. So once you're here and the weight is left, now as you're swinging your arm down, you can do whatever you want to do with your arm. You are not driving your leg harder and trying to push up off the ground. That will throw you right. So once you load up the hand, your arm is going to go to the target. Well, my arm can now throw out to the right for a draw. I'll do it this way so you can kind of see it a little bit better. So I'm over here on my left side. Here's a draw. So anybody who throws the ball underhanded needs to be on this side, because that is how you get your hand over your shoulder, and that is the same way that you throw a baseball as well. The weight is going left while the arm is going back. Nobody does this, okay? So get that out of your head. And if you were trying to do that as an underhand throw and you move your head off the ball, I'm sorry, that's incorrect information that you either watched or got from me. So I'm just trying to be a little more precise about this. So when I go here and I push the ground, you can clearly see how I'm going back left. And now my arm can go however I want to go. The club will always be in the middle of the body, okay? So, and the ball just right in front of that. So if I'm gonna hit a driver and I'm gonna throw up, well, my arm is going to go that way. Now my pelvis is left, a little bit more pressure on my right foot. If I'm gonna throw low, then you'll see how my arm is gonna be low, my pelvis is more left, and I pushed a little more left. If I'm gonna throw it out to the right or if I'm gonna throw a fade. So you can hit any kind of shot you wanna hit, but it's just gonna be all hands that take it back, and the body's already responding because you got the ground pressure. So the ground pressure is what makes rotation happen and what makes the vertical happen. Also, when you do this, you will have a slower vertical. You can't go here and then just jump straight up. Again, that'll throw you backwards. So it is a much more gradual, slower as the arm is going. You can see my leg is still bent. There's my torque. And then from here, you can clearly see how it's going slowly vertical as it goes up, and it's timed up. If I was going to say, this is probably one, to me, is one of the most accurate ones because you're visualizing just your arm, where it goes. So once you load up, you can now throw it low, high, whatever you want to do, if you can feel it in this, if you feel it in this hand. All right, so that is trail. All right, that is lead. That is lead, okay? Now, middle is quite a bit different. Middle is actually you responding to like a weight on a string or the hammer as it goes around you, and wherever the club head goes is where your weight goes. So you're not trying to actually shift or do anything, okay? So bear with me on this. Hope I'm still in frame here. I kind of move around a little too close, but so I'm gonna choke down a little bit because my mirror, which I know freak people out, is right about there, right? So when I swing back like a hammer throw, you'll see right here, if my golf club is parallel to my foot line and on my toe line, my weight is gonna be centrally located or on my right briefly because that's where the club is. As the club starts to go up, you'll see that I'm now more on my pelvis here. And as the club now tilts me here, it's gonna tilt me back left. So now I'm just responding. By the way, when I'm doing this, you'll see how much smoother and slower the tempo goes. So I'm just letting the club feel like it falls. So now my weight and pressure is on my right. Now the club is gonna follow me to the left. It's going to recenter me here. My pelvis is gonna go behind. And that's a totally different looking move than the lead throw, which is going to, by the way, not be slow. Okay, so that's all a bunch of crap if you tell me that, hey, I must swing slow to hit the golf ball. No, it's the way that you load the ground makes you respond to the tempo that works for you. So someone who tells me, hey, I've got to swing slow or I always hit the ball really well with a nice slow tempo, that's a cue for me that says, oh, this person is a middle person. See, when I talk to people, I get cues. I don't have to just do all the little drills and things. Done this a long time. So when people swing this back, you can clearly see how that is much more of a centered throw, right? Or counterbalance, right? So I can't do this and stay centered and move my hand fast because now my body doesn't have time to respond. So the middle part is the body responding to the club swinging freely, whereas the trail is where the lead leg here is totally different, where you push a little bit of weight here, and you can see how I've loaded up my weight, and then you can throw in the vertical is much slower and the tempo is much faster. All right, so getting into a little bit more of now the trail leg is now going to be more of the compound pivot / Sam Snead, semi, maybe even bucket of water feel, because that one has a little bit more center, but a little bit more right, never really left. And also I'll go into how that looks. So here's the mythical bucket of water. So you can see there's a little bit of a press. As my weight goes here, my head is now moved off center a little bit. My weight's loaded into my bent right leg. And you can see I've moved off the ball just fractionally here. So the leg is kind of hanging, okay? But the arms are gonna be more like 3/4 back. And so then the first move down now is pressing the left foot down to give you the torque, right? And then from there, once you push down, then the vertical kicks up. And then you have, by the way, the arms and body release together. So that's a totally different release. And the reason why I'm going over this is because some of my students go, hey, I got a weight on a string, I'm practicing your bucket and your compound pivot. And I'm like, oh shit, like which one are you trying to do? Because they're all three totally different ones. And then as I ask you, okay, oh great, so you were more of the swing the bucket guy. Or hey, and that's, I mean, you can do it with a medicine ball or a weight or, you know, kettlebell or, you know, whatever you want to use. I'm just using it as an example, right? Of my other videos I've done, because I feel like when you teach by images, you can get more feel that way and be more in tune that way. All right, so now compound pivot. Now watch, this is the Sam Snead move. And again, I have this on video, by the way, of me hitting a couple shots different ways. If you look at the shorts section on my page, you'll see me swinging very long, very trail, dominant swing, and then you'll see the underhand throw, and you'll see a little bit more. I didn't do a lead leg yet, but I think you guys can see the demonstration that I do, right? And those are all in the, you know, 130 plus mile an hour, about the same kind of speed, all of whatever I do. But so I'm now going to roll my left ankle joint, which now makes the golf club go back a long ways. And you can clearly see how I loaded my weight into my right, still going. And as the golf club goes all the way back, my knee is what's moving and my foot is what's moving my pelvis way back. So now my right foot has to roll and push the left leg down, so you can definitely see a maximum amount of torque here. So that's going to be a maximum amount of vertical. And now the golf club is going to be right in line with your foot in your hand. And then from here, the golf body stalls completely, and now the club whips. So these are three totally different tempo releases and everything. So I'm really not trying to confuse you. If you're like, man, this is too much, just do a Zoom lesson with me and I'll tell you what to do, right? But if you're like geeking out on this and you're like, oh yeah, I see it. Because all I'm doing is moving the golf club via foot pressure. So once I set it with the lead, I'm winding my hand up. If I'm doing middle, I'm kind of waiting for the golf club and the weight to move me, and so I can stay centered and counterbalance. And then if I'm doing trail, now I'm really just letting it go. And then you can even see that's kind of like more like a Jake Knapp. So really more into this leg here, because then when even when you do the little squat move by the right leg, pushing the left leg down, you can see how the shaft really gets close to the shoulder, so you have a lot of lag. And then from here, that leg then kicks in, and now you got maximum whip, and that's the effortless feel. So if you can do either one of those, you'll be right as rain. All right, so I wanted to do that for a bit. Also, I'm going to do a little bit, hopefully better job for you guys of when you come on my page, because I never know what you're gonna see first. You know, the 100,000 views of the underhand throw or whatever it is. I'm gonna try to put a little playlist together where, hey, all of these videos are if you're lead, and all these videos are if you're middle, and all these videos are if you're right, or trail, again, sorry. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of go over that. So as always, you know, I appreciate you guys. I hope this wasn't too much for you. Like, subscribe, it makes a huge difference. And I also, just to let you know, I'm trying to do at least one of these a week, maybe two, because I'm still working my full-time job till the end of October at the golf course, where I still have to put in 40 hours and then do all the lessons, and then do my Zoom lessons, and then do my membership. So I'm doing the best I can for you guys to try to put out as much content for you, and I hope this helps. So obviously, like, subscribe, and share, and leave comments, because that lets me know that you guys are getting this. All right, everybody have a great day.